Hi everyone, welcome back to Planet J. My name is Jay, and today I have a pick a card reading for you. And it's going to be looking at how you've been killing it lately, what you've been doing great, what you've been doing good, basically giving you your props. I'm going to be splitting this up into 3 different areas today. So it'll be looking at money and career, what you've been doing right there. We'll also be looking at your love and personal relationships, as well as your own personal growth, having to do with no one else other than you. So if that sounds like something you're interested in watching, pick a card and I'll see you in your reading. This type of reading, I call these growth and confidence boost readings, and I feel like they really do play a big part in our healing. So I try to offer readings like this on my channel, and I have a tier for readings like this on my Patreon for $10 a month. So you guys might want to look at that. It's in the description box below. You can also buy the entire collection of all 39 and growing confidence boost, personal growth readings like this on Patreon too for a flat price, and you get all of the current readings and the future ones without having to pay a monthly price. So it's a little bit more expensive, but if you're not trying to be paying monthly, you could pay a little bit more now and get a whole hell of a lot later. Yeah, if that sounds like anything you're interested in, hit the links below. I think everybody should have chosen their card by now, so we're going to get started with card number 1. Please, if at any point the microphone or the sound sounds off, please just comment and let me know, because that happened last reading and I don't want it to happen again. Okay, love you guys. Here we go. We're going to get started with card number 1. And I'm really excited. I'm really excited for this reading. I think it's such a great topic and everyone can use a little pick me up. So let's see. Spirit, please tap me into card number 1. Card number 1, we do have some blind polls to be looking at, and this will be sort of an energy check. And we'll also be getting you some affirmations that you could speak to yourself, or Spirit wants to speak to you through me to let you know what you've been doing right. Okay, so card number 1, you chose this 3 of Swords, and this is actually from our Broken Mirror Tarot. I'm going to let you guys look at this image for a while because this is what I'm going to be channeling from for the beginning part of this reading. So if you see there's this person, I'm not even going to say man or woman because they are cloaked and it really doesn't matter the gender. It's really speaking to the circumstance. He has 3 swords. 2 of them are in him and he's trying to pull one out. There's another one still stuck in there and he still has this other sword ready to fight or, stick up for himself, whatever is necessary. But you can also see that there's these threads or strings pulling on his neck, pulling on the one in him, pulling on this one, and even one pulling on his arm that's trying to take it out. So for me, some of you guys, you chose this one and you actually have been through quite a lot, or you could be going through a very difficult circumstance right now. It could be the way that you're navigating it. Other people could not do it. And for others of you, it's the way that you express the pain and the things that you've been through. So if that sounds like you, keep watching. We're going to do a little bit more of an energy check, and then we're going to keep going. I put in the description box as well that if anything I say in this reading is not something you're currently doing, Spirit is urging you to do this more. And that's for your own happiness, for your own growth, not to make anyone else happy or anything like that. So let's get into some affirmations, and then we'll look at these blind pulls and get some shuffles. And this is going to be a pretty thorough and long reading. I meant to put that in the description, but I forgot. So I will do that later. All right, Spirit, tap me in. Let's get the affirmations first, okay? Okay, so tell me, what affirmations do you have for the wonderful and beautiful group number 3? We're going to start with our unicorn affirmations, and then we'll get these ones too. Okay. For this, I'm going to zoom out, so brace yourself in your eyes. 1, 2, 3. There we go. And I'm going to put the card you chose now right here so you guys know which reading we're on. Kind of hard to see, but it's right there. And I'll put the number 1 here so you know. All right, Spirit. Tell me about card number 1. Okay, that's your affirmation right there from that deck. We'll get one more from this one. Tell me about card number 1. Ooh, okay. Tell me about card number 1. Oh, okay. All right. So we've got let go of things that are holding you back. Ooh, I like that. And you know why? Look at these threads. They're quite literally holding him back and hurting him too. So some of you guys, this could be what's been on your mental lately, or this is something you've done and you're actually going to see some benefits because of it. We also have for your affirmation playfulness. Oh my God. Playfulness. I'm a playful participant in life, and I always have the option to make something a fun game rather than a heavy burden. Mary Poppins put sugar in the medicine for a reason. That lady really knows how to party. So, some of you guys, it's your energy, the way you keep your energy upbeat and playful, even when you are in difficult circumstances or when you're around people or things that just aren't serving you. Maybe you're just not taking it out on them, you're just accepting that such is life. Okay. So that's very difficult. Let's see the other ways that you have been killing it. It feels like killing it in this group. You really have been. And I know that's the title of the reading, but damn. Okay. So we have the Hermit. Dang. The Hermit. Oh, the Eight of Swords. Another Swords energy, what I was kind of talking about. Sorry about the glare. Okay. And then we have the Death card. Damn. Okay. So in this group, what you need to know is that what you've been doing is, I feel like, looking deeper. Some of you guys, you actually have been handling a lot of things on your own, and it could be quite difficult. It's so funny because I'm looking at this picture and it's so weird. I don't know why the artist decided to do this. Maybe there's a reason in the description for this card. But if you can't really see, but there's like plants growing by her feet, and she's standing on this like wood plank. You don't see no water there either, and it's very dark. Hmm. 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 I feel like you guys are becoming one with your environment, becoming one with yourself. I also like to be an empathetic person. To be a good person to anybody else, you have to truly know yourself, and you have to be able to reflect on where you may have made a mistake or where you just should no longer be. The Hermit isn't moving in this photo, but they are on a sort of journey, whether it's mental with the Eight of Swords and the Three of Swords, or physical. For some of you guys, it's both. I feel like the battles that you've been facing, some of you guys, it is mental, or it is feeling like a bit trapped, or like you can't get out, or maybe that things might go wrong for you, or might not go the way that you want them to. But it's crazy because Spirit is also letting you know that where you're going next is this Death card. So there will be change, there will be transformation. And I feel like you will be stronger and better at the end of it all. And not everybody wants to feel stronger. Sometimes people want to feel happy, but I'm not saying you won't be. I'm just saying that everything that you have gone through up until this point, everything that you are going through right now, it will make you stronger, and it will make you wiser as well. Okay, so let's get some shuffles now. Wow. Okay, let's get some shuffles. This is probably one of the deepest groups. For you to get playfulness as well, it's really hard to stay in this energy when you are going through the things you've gone through, or when you've seen the things that you've seen, or you've been told the things that you've been told, anything like that. So I will keep these affirmations here on the side, just for us to be able to kind of look at throughout the reading, if I feel called to bring them back up. Wow. Okay, so let's do the shuffles now. This is where it gets a little bit more fun, a little less intense. Okay, so Spirit, let's move our little unicorn out of the way. Say bye. And let's move on. Tell me about the first area of life. So I think we're going to start with your own personal growth. So we just talked about how you're transforming and how you're becoming different. How? How, Jay? Okay, let's see. How's card number 1 becoming different? How are they growing? Where have they made the most improvement? Oh, okay, we have the Page of Swords. Another sword energy. Okay. Tell me more about the energy that they've been embodying lately. The Wheel of Fortune. Wow. Okay. And tell me about the energy of other people around them and how they've been handling that. I actually think I'm going to move these like this. Okay, yeah. Tell me about the people around them or the stuff going on in their life. The comparison. The Star. Oh, okay. Okay. In the bottom of the deck, we have the Ten of Pentacles. And this is your personal growth. Okay. So now we're going to use the Doodle Tarot to clarify. So what specific actions have they been taking, and what changes are coming their way in their personal growth? Got the Page of Cups. Wow, you got the Page of Cups and the Page of Pentacles. So I don't know if this group, you typically always have to be like very mature or handle things a certain way, because it's almost like Spirit is giving you props for connecting back to, I don't know if it's like a happier self or a more youthful energy. The pages are, in terms of age, they do represent younger, but other times they are messengers. So some of you guys, like I said earlier, it is the way that you're communicating. But this is your personal growth. So some of you guys, it's the way that you're talking to yourself. Okay. Tell me about the Wheel of Fortune. Tell me about the Wheel of Fortune, please. Four of Cups. Okay. In the world. Okay, we'll get one more to clarify the star for the personal growth. My. Okay. King of Swords. Yeah, didn't I say something about communication? Look, it's the freaking King of Swords coming out. Okay. Bottom deck is the Ten of Swords. Another Swords energy. What is going on? Oh my God. Because this feels like pain. Some of you guys it's physical and others of you it's mental. For others of you, it's just I heard what comes with the territory of what you're about to grow into with the Death card. So, okay. First, let's start here and we'll make our way through. In terms of your personal growth, I see you making the most improvement when it comes to your spirituality, finding something to be happy and excited about with the Page of Cups, looking on the brighter side. So maybe some of you guys are trying to find the silver lining to things, finding inspiration in places, even if it's coming from hurt or pain. What I mean by that is, like, there are some people that go through something difficult. Someone does something to them that they didn't deserve. And next, they grow up being a lawyer, or they grow up to be a doctor that saves people from the things that they've been through, or they grow up and maybe it's not having anything to do with their career, but just the way that they help people in their own personal life. I'm seeing someone like that. Like, in terms of your personal growth, there is a spiritual change that's going through you. And I feel like it's the way that you're speaking and the way that you're thinking. And for others of you, it's the way that you have been. It almost feels like embracing yourself, your emotional state. It says creativity on this card too. So tell me about the Four of Cups in the Wheel of Fortune. Some of you guys, what you are facing is stagnation. Things in your life taking a little bit longer than you want. Trying something and it not working out the way you wanted to. I don't want to call it a failure, because I feel like with the Wheel of Fortune and the World card coming through here, it is actually divine protection. But it could still hurt. It could still feel difficult. Some of you guys, what's going on is that you aren't feeling complete. Maybe you feel like there is something that you really want desperately and it's not in your life right now. But I feel like it's personal growth for this group, because maybe in the past you have a hard time admitting that maybe you want more, because I am getting a sense of like apathy here. So in this group, it's okay for you to admit being upset, admit that you want more, admit that almost like you're yearning for something, or maybe even that things haven't been panning out the way that you want to, because maybe typically you're not in that energy. Maybe you usually brush things off or keep it to yourself, or you don't even let yourself acknowledge these things or address them in your mind even. Now, for others of you, you could quite literally be going through a lot of success in your own life. So maybe you had a goal to lose X amount of weight. Maybe you had a goal that you were going to clean up your room and you didn't. It really doesn't matter, but I feel like it's both. There are things, even if it's small, that you have done and accomplished personally. So it doesn't have anything to do with career. It could, if it was like your own personal goal and it made you feel better about yourself. But this is more so giving, I like the way I look. I love myself. Or I'm getting there. I'm working to get to that point. I'm working to not need external validation, or I'm working to not feel like my circumstances determine my worth. Just because you don't have X amount of money doesn't mean you're not this. Just because you don't have X amount of friends doesn't mean that you're not this. Just because your relationship with your family or whatever looks like this doesn't mean blah, 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 blah. That's what I'm getting. I also see with the Four of Cups, your energy. Some of you guys, what it is that if you are upset, if you are ticked off, if you don't care, you're not going to pretend like you do. And that is a big change for you in personal growth, because maybe, just maybe, it's caused people to walk away from you. Or maybe, just maybe, it's made you get to a point where you recognize that maybe something needs to end and there is a time for change. So I feel like the personal growth for you, and the reason why I'm doing personal growth before we do love, before we do money and career, is because I feel like how you grow yourself really does impact the other areas of your life. And in this group, it almost feels like you're being a little bit more honest with yourself and maybe even others if you are feeling skeptical, if you have something to say, if you're not impressed, if you really just don't care, if you don't think that's a good idea and you don't want to be involved, if you have a complaint, even some of you guys, it's like you're being honest about that. So I don't know if this is the group of people where I don't know if you usually have to just take things, be more responsible, or whatever. Yeah, it's like I'm seeing somebody who's not going to get jump up and down and be excited about someone doing like bare minimum. Somebody who, if they're not looking forward to something, if they don't want to go, they're not going to go. So again, if you haven't been doing these things, this is spirit telling you to try it. Try it. So let's say you really do be people pleasing. Let's say you always do put on a smile and you're not feeling great. Let's say you did make a mistake and you need somebody to vent to about it, or something did happen to you or whatever, and you want to be able to express it, even if it's just writing it in your journal. Maybe spirit is urging you to try these things if you're not doing it right now, because I feel like that is what will get the tables turning for you. It almost feels like in this group there needs to be a release. There needs to be a release. These swords need to come out. So let's say you're going through a difficult situation. I don't know if the spirit is putting you in these situations so that you can get the skill. And almost this is a skill for me. And I say that because I work with adults and children who are on the spectrum. And a lot of the time they may mask, or they may not even acknowledge their own pain or whatever, because it's easier for other people, or because they assume other people won't understand, or maybe just because they don't want to be that type of person, quote unquote. But we're all human at the end of the day, and I feel like this is the energy of someone who accepts that. And I have mentioned that in one of the piles, or one of the cards that we did in the recent readings we did this week. I think we did like 3 on the channel this week and a few more on Patreon. I can't remember which group it was. If you want to go check it out, you probably will select that one. But the bottom of the deck here is your superpower and your actual magic weapon. So some of you guys, your superpower is you come out stronger, wiser, braver, and some of you guys even more emotional when you go through things like this. Your superpower is you could go through rock bottom. You could be hurt. You could be betrayed. You could feel defeated. You could be breaking down. You could be stuck just trying to survive. But your superpower is that you know how to escape those ruins. You know how to overcome. And I feel like with the 10 of Pentacles being here, some of you guys, this is what you want. You want, I don't know if it's that you actually do have a dream with the star card, either about how much money you make, the type of neighborhood you want to live in, the home you want to have, the job, the career you want to have, the family, the way you want your relationships to look. I feel like in this group, you actually do have a picture of those things. And that's where you're growing. Because I feel like in this group, it's like dare to dream. Some of you guys, it's like speaking those things into existence as well. Wishful thinking sort of thing. Allowing other people to uplift you and encourage you when you're in these situations, instead of not being able to take the compliment, not being able to take the help, not being able to be seen as somebody who is human and goes through things just like everyone else and might need this sometimes. The Star and the King of Swords. Yeah, I feel like honestly in this group, even if you don't realize it, or if they haven't came to you just yet, like who knows, maybe you meet this person tomorrow or whatever, or who knows, maybe you didn't realize that you had this little guardian angel or whatever around you this entire time. Some of you guys, you do, and it's your ability to appreciate them. And for others of you, like I said, it could be that spirit is sending this person to you as you go through this growth, as you accept these things. Because I did say if you haven't been doing these things, you should try and you will get it. So I asked spirit, what's the energy around you? Specifically, if it's like a person, and some of you guys it is, where it has been multiple people with a star, because I'm seeing a lot of stars on here. And stars, they shed light on darkness, but they also help you see in the dark, like the moon, that bright ass light. I'm seeing somebody who is on like a boat in the middle of the dark, dark, dark ocean, and then there's that moon. And I feel like this is the people or the situations around you that are meant to get you out of this, meant to help you get to the 10 of Pentacles. And some of you guys, this is the problem is that you've been wanting the 10 of Pentacles, but you've been wanting it in secret for a while. So you haven't been telling people your goals. You haven't been telling people your plans or what you've been going through or whatever. So there's no way for you to get help. There's no way for people to give you a pat on the back or that little uplifting message or motivation to keep you going. It doesn't mean that they have to fix all your problems, but sometimes that is really all it takes, or a really big help when you're in a situation like this, or when you're battling this, or when your superpower is to overcome this. Yeah, this is what I want to tell you in this group. When your superpower is to overcome betrayal and rock bottom and shit like this, unfortunately, you experience that, but you come out stronger. And I feel like in this group, there is going to be a point where you're not experiencing that anymore. And what that might take from you, if you haven't already started doing it, is everything that I said before. Being more honest about when you are in that spot, so you know the difference when you're finally where you want to be. Does that make sense? You know, like sometimes you can get so stuck in the thick of things. I always give the example of when you have a cold. And when you have a cold and you can't fucking breathe and your chest is hurting and like your nose is fucking running, you feel like shit, you look like shit. It's so hard to remember when you were bomb as fuck. It's hard to remember when you could breathe again, or when there wasn't so much pressure, or when you weren't getting migraines, or when you didn't have the energy. But when you're there again, you're so thankful that you made it out. You're so thankful that you took that medicine, or you listened to the doctor's advice, or, you know, you did what you needed to do to heal in a herbal way, or whatever, you know, your thing is. It's just a metaphor. But I feel like in this group, that's really what it's all about. So I don't know if you've been having people tell you recently how better you're doing, how they do see a difference. If you haven't, you will soon. And I feel like when those people come around, or when you get those messages, or even when you start thinking those things, it's not meant to make you feel bad. It's actually spirit sending that to you, sending you those thoughts, or sending you those people to help you realize that you have been extremely focused, and you have been keeping your goals in mind. You have been standing in your own authority and your own power, and at the same time, you're being just as logical as inspired, or as emotional or sensitive to yourself and to others. I feel like with this group, it's more so being sensitive to yourself, but I am only looking at your personal growth. I'm not looking at how this extends to your love or friends, family, relationships just yet. That will be in a second. Hmm. So you know how like when people lose a bunch of weight, or when people were sick and then they come up to them like, oh my god, you look so much better now, or they get out of that shitty relationship and they're like, oh my god, you seem so much happier, and it kind of stings. You don't want to hear that shit. You don't. But at the same time though, you kind of need to, don't you? Because what goes around comes back around. And you don't, I'm seeing all the circles here too. Like everything coming full circle. I feel like in this group you could use those reminders sometimes, even if it's just coming from yourself, that you are not where you used to be. And that should be inspiring you. That should actually be uplifting you. It shouldn't be making you feel like shit. So I think for this group, maybe it is also working on flipping your perception, finding hope in places or things that you're seeing, even if it's just like the small things, taking a little nature walk or whatever. So let's move on now to how you've been improving in terms of what should we do next? Let's do work next. Work, career, and money. Okay. So I'm going to take these bottom of the decks and put them back down and start the shuffles again for this next area of life. Okay, so tell me a little bit about work, career, and money. How have they been killing it in terms of their work, career, and money? And again, if this isn't what you're doing now, then it's what you should try. I feel like this reading is going to be one of the longest readings on my channel so far. I do have some readings that get to like 2-3 hours, and I only do readings like that every now and again because you only need them every now and again. Shouldn't be over consuming anything, even tarot. Okay, so tell me about the Page of Swords and how this personal growth has spread into their career, their money, and long-term success. Okay, there it is. The Lovers. Wow, the Lovers. Okay. Tell me more about the Wheel of Fortune. The Page of Cups. Yep, that's you. Didn't I tell you it's bleeding into it? I like to keep this here on the table for this type of reading because you get to see how it's transferring. You get to see how your own personal growth in terms of trying to remain happy, trying to connect back to your spiritual side, finding creativity, finding inspiration in small little things, chuckling, laughing, being more sensitive to yourself and others. The more you do this in terms of your work and your career, the better and more successful you will be. The easier it will be for you to get to where you want. So let me show you how. Or let me tell you how you've been doing it already. Okay, so we have these are too many cards I flipped over, but look, the King of Swords. I can't fucking make it up. I can't make it up. Look, there it is. The King of Swords and the King of Swords. Okay, let's just get one though. I don't want to get too many. just yet. The Sun card and the Two of Cups. Some of you guys, I mean, it's coming off like a relationship, but it doesn't have to be. Some of you guys, this is like a business relationship. But this gives marriage. I don't know. And the lovers there too. Page of Cups. I don't know if you have like a little crush. Someone's crushing on you at work. Or someone is inspired by you at work. Something like that. In your career. Even if you don't realize it. Some of you guys, I don't know if it's like you have a mentor. It could be that too. This does feel like beneficial relationships in terms of your career. So if you don't have those, you need to start forming them. That's an urge for you from Spirit if you haven't been doing it. If you haven't been networking, if you haven't been talking to so-and-so or whatever, do it. You'd be surprised because I feel like in this group, the more that you do this like personal growth that we were just talking about, it makes you more likable of a person. And it makes people empathize with you more. And I'm not saying you need that. I'm not saying you need empathy or sympathy, but everybody needs it at some point. And it can help. It really can. Especially when you're dealing with like-minded people or people that actually do have integrity. You don't have to be skeptical about people actually giving a fuck about what you've gone through or what you're escaping. 10 of Wands, as I say that. I feel like you've been putting in a lot of work in this group. A lot of work, even if it's been strenuous or difficult. Bottom of the deck is the World card. No fucking way. Didn't I tell you it's connecting? The World card. Look. So you got the Page of Cups repeating. You got the World card repeating in the King of Swords. So I want you to know in this group, even if it doesn't feel like it, even if you feel like things are moving really fucking slow, or even if it feels like you want something to end, but it's not there yet, or you want to complete something, you want to accomplish something with work or your career, and it's not there yet, it's coming. It is coming. So let's see how. Tell me about the actions. How have they improved when it comes to their career and their work? And how can we connect this back to this Lovers card that just came out? It also feels like choices. So some of you guys, it's the choices you've been making when it comes to career and work. The Lovers card a lot of the time does represent choices. Oh, there it is. Okay, King of Pentacles. Yes, love this. Ooh, love it. So even if it's not about career, even if you're unemployed right now and you're just saving your money or whatever, it doesn't matter. Everyone's circumstances like welcome here, but take what is yours and leave it isn't, obviously. But the King of Pentacles is a businessman at the end of the day. He's a provider. He's wealthy, and it doesn't have to be your gender. This doesn't have to be your gender. It's more so speaking to the energy behind the card and behind the core card. So some of you guys, that's what you've done. You've actually... So let's say you provide a service. Your service is better. Let's say your job requires a certain skill set. You've gotten better at that skill set, more experience, and some of you guys, it will reflect in how much you get paid or how much you're getting paid right now. Let's say you did get a bonus, you did get a raise, it's well deserved. For others of you, it could be that you're starting to realize that it almost feels like this is the group of people where it's like you have actually been doing things with something in mind to improve your career. So you know how like some people, they're like, oh my God, I was just offered a job and this job just so happened to be, the place I stayed for 20 years and blah, 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 blah. And then there are other people, they're like, no. I worked my ass off. I did this. I did that. I talked to them. I blah, blah, blah. I invested this. You seem like that kind of group. It's about choices at the end of the day. The King of Pentacles makes choices to put their success, their career, their money, their relationship, their home, their family first. So some of you guys, that's what it is. Maybe you have been putting your family first. Maybe you have been putting yourself first. If it doesn't have to do with responsibilities. And how does that improve your career? Maybe it makes people respect you more, to be honest. Like there's some people in some jobs or whatever, they don't want you to have a personal life. They don't want you to have a family. They don't want you to actually have goals beyond that job because then you're stuck. Or then they're at a loss. But in this group, it almost feels like you've been making choices. It doesn't matter. It don't matter. Okay. I feel like you've been making choices or you've been thinking more with a more like wealthy mindset. And I also feel like in this group, how you've improved or how you're better than others or whatever is because you're not greedy. You don't try to extort people. You're not corrupt. And for some of you guys, you're not broke. And for others of you, like I said, if it's not what you have right now, then this is where you're going to be. You're not going to be broke. The King of Pentacles is not broke. He's very stable. He's very stable. Okay. So tell me about the Four of Cups. Damn, this is going to be a long reading. Tell me about the Four of Cups. Look, another king. You have 3 kings out here. And again, it doesn't matter your gender. It's more so speaking to the masculine versus feminine energy. Okay. So it's like, I feel like people really, it almost feels like people are loving you when it comes to your career and your work, or you're giving off that energy. So some of you guys, it's like you actually are a very affectionate, caring, compassionate person and more friendly than other people assume or than you thought even. So the more you act like this when it comes to your work and your career, the better it gets for you. For some of you guys, it's because you could be dealing or around people that are very emotional themselves, anxious themselves, who repress their own feelings, or just uncaring. And maybe you're not wavering in that instance, or maybe you're not wavering in that circumstance or whatever. Let's say you naturally are this King of Cups, and it's not something you've grown into. That's just who you are. You are naturally caring and compassionate. Then that actually serves you. That serves you, especially because the Ten of Swords here is your superpower. So for you to maintain that, even when it comes to work and work that stresses you out, work that's difficult, work that not anybody could do. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, tell me about the world. Tell me about the world card and what they've been facing. Some of you guys, it's like past tense. I don't know if it's something that you've faced already or it could be going on right now. Ooh, the Wheel of Fortune. No way. Didn't I tell you it's all connecting? Look, Wheel of Fortune right there. So your personal life, what's been going on in your personal life has been impacting your career. It has been impacting your career, your success, your money. And for the better, it feels like, because it says change, destiny, and a turning point, good luck, and it didn't come out in reverse. Okay, so some of you guys, maybe what you did experience in the past, what I explained earlier with the World card coming out, was a cycle that had to be broken because it wasn't getting anywhere. So it could have been a dead-end job. It could have been a coworker that you just had to leave in the dust because they were always giving you the wrong information. Or, I mean, it really doesn't matter. But I feel like some of you guys, you really have dealt with disappointment and bad luck when it comes to your career in the past. So the fact that you can still be this and this, it's amazing. You're killing it. Like, you're killing it. Okay, tell me about the King of Swords. Page of Swords. You got it again. You got it again. That's the Page of Swords right there. And that was your personal growth. Didn't I say that? So some of you guys, even if it's difficult, you have been focusing on continuing to use your logic, continuing to stay vigilant, continuing to have those conversations even if you don't want to, and keeping your energy levels up as best you can. And that's how you're killing it, okay? Especially if you do have things going on in your personal life or your love life or whatever. It's really hard to do that. It's really hard to balance those things. And it's also really hard to maintain a likable person with integrity who's not greedy and corrupt while doing all of that. Because some of you guys, maybe you could get something easier or quicker by being that, but you're not. And that is something to celebrate. That's something to praise. Look, as I say that, the Ten of Pentacles that you were dreaming of right there on the bottom of the deck. You've remained thorough and protective over your goals. You're showing a lot of tenacity. You're being patient. You're not rushing things. You're conserving your energy where you need to. Yeah, some of you guys have been living a more low-key, boring life. So I don't know if it's that you're working a lot, you don't have a lot of social life right now or whatever, but it will benefit you. And I feel like in this group, Spirit really wants to let you know that because it could be difficult. All right, so let's move on now to love, friends, and family and see how you've been doing well in that, how you've been killing it there. And again, if it's not something that you're doing right now, then it could be something you could try, okay? All right, so tell me about how they've been killing it in regards to love, friends, and family. Okay, we have the Magician. So some of you guys, if you're single, it's the fact that you're still remaining hopeful and like positive about the fact that maybe that could change. Let's say you're in a relationship right now. I will give you those messages too. Queen of Pentacles. Wow. So the King and the Queen have both come out. Queen of Pentacles. And let's get one more. Second area of life. Other people's energy. So what are the people that you've been dealing with in terms of love, friends, and family? How have they been showing up for you? Okay. They got the Judgment card. Oh, okay. So I don't know if this is the group of people where you've been having to forgive people you've been having to. Or maybe they're just really intense if it's not about forgiving people. But you've been handling it. You've been dealing with it. Bottom of the deck is the Eight of Cups. Ooh, for others of you, let's say you went through a breakup recently. I can see you're not hurting as much. Actually not hurting as much. Or let's say you were the one that initiated it, then good for you. Now let's get to those of you where you're in a relationship. Or, you're watching about a friend or a family member. You want to know how you're doing good with them. Let's say this has something to do with friends or family. It could be that you are... It almost feels like not making yourself smaller. It's hard, but some families do kind of benefit from, and even friends, do kind of benefit from their friends staying where they are instead of actually getting better, transforming like you were going to be with the Death card. The Magician, the reason why I say that is because they have balanced and they have mastered all elements. So not just action with the wands, but also the emotion with the cups. And we see that with your King of Cups coming out, the thought process, the logic with the swords and the King of Swords coming out. We also even have the King of Pentacles here, which is the Pentacles energy. So the only one that I don't think we got a court card was the Wands energy yet. And for some of you guys, there's a reason for that, because maybe it's not a time for you to rush. Maybe it's not a time for you to be doing a whole hell of a lot, but just right here in the pocket with what you've been doing right now, keep doing that. It almost feels like in this group, Spirit is letting you know that unless you haven't been doing any of the things that I said before, that you just need to keep going and remain patient, because you've been doing really great, even in the face of bullshit or difficulties. All right, tell me about the Magician in regards to love, friends, and family. How have they been killing it? Two of Wands. Yeah, there's the Wands energy. I think this is the first Wands energy we got. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah. So yeah, it says here on this card, planning for the future, traveling, decisions, and wanderlust. So some of you guys, how have you been killing it when it comes to your friends, your family, and your love? Because you're making plans. Because you are... It almost feels like being firm, being sure, or giving other people assurance when they need it to. So let's say you're in a relationship with somebody that is an overthinker or whatever. Maybe you've been getting better with making decisions that support them. Or let's say you were in a relationship with somebody that didn't respect your boundaries and you left. Then good for you, because you were looking on the brighter side and you're also making plans for yourself. Let's say it has nothing to do with anyone treating you poorly or not understanding you in a friend's, family, romantic sense. Then it could just be that you're keeping your mind and your heart open for the one to come if you are single. Tell me about the Queen of Pentacles. The Strength card. Loyalty is coming through here. So some of you guys are showing up as very loyal. I said something about bravery too, and it says bravery on this card. And focus. And we mentioned that. And compassion. It says compassion on this card again. So not only are you compassionate when it comes to your work and your career and your money even, but you also are that way with your friends, your family. Like this is a really nice group. I really like this. Really, really, really nice. It takes courage to be this way, honestly, in a world like this where you could probably get somewhere faster and quicker by being shitty. You're not doing that. So I feel like in this group, it makes the people around you not doubt you. They don't view you as weak. They don't view you as someone with insecurities or lacking courage. No. They view you as somebody who's not afraid of change, somebody who is not afraid of a little delay, because they know at the end of the day, they're going to get that 10 of Pentacles regardless, because the Wheel of Fortune always turns. There's also somebody who can make the best out of any situation, even if it's difficult. Okay. What else? How have they been killing it in terms of love, family, and friends? How have they been killing it? That's too many. How have they been killing it? Judgment. Damn, look, right there. Judgment again. And that's what we were talking about, other people's energy. This was other people's energy that you're dealing with in terms of love and family. It's so funny because this card here says reflection and spiritual calling. And we were talking earlier when it came to your personal growth that you have been reflecting. You have been following that spiritual calling. So how is this affecting your family? How's this affecting your friends, your relationships, or your potential relationships if you're single? It's making you look like somebody who is ready for commitment, ready for something serious. And let's say you don't want to be in a relationship. You want to be single. You are killing it when it comes to your career and your work or whatever. And it may be a little difficult, but you're getting there. Then that's what it is too. So maybe the Judgment card in that case could be maybe people that want a second shot, but they're not going to fucking get it. And you've been killing it that way. Okay, tell me about the Page of Swords. And then we're going to close it out and move to the next group. Tell me about the Page of Swords. What have they been focusing on when it comes to love, family, and friends? And how have they been killing it? Okay, way too many. The Ace of Pentacles came out flying over this Queen of Pentacles who's holding that ace. So some of you guys, I don't know if it's that you are actually allowing people to bring something to you. Maybe you're always the provider. Maybe you're the one who's always doing this and doing that. And maybe now you're just kind of letting people show you how much they value you, how much they value you, how much they care for you. 5 of Cups. Now, let's say, I'm just going to keep it honest. Let's say you were the one that messed up in love or with family or whatever. It's the fact that you're able to do that. It's the fact that you can humble yourself and admit that maybe you disappointed another person. That maybe you did do something that you regret and it did upset you. Or, yeah, because I did say something about admitting your feelings and like being honest about that. Instead of focusing on the failure, I feel like in this group it's just I can't remember the name of that psychologist. I think he's a psychologist, but he primarily does like family and like relationship therapy and therapy for people I think that have been diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder. And a lot of the things that he posts and like talks about is kind of like reflecting to people the other perspective of the person that they're dealing with, whether that be their partner, their children, um, you know, anybody really. And he kind of talks about how in order for healing to take place, you have to acknowledge. So it's not enough for you to feel sorry if you don't say it, if you don't give the person the opportunity to know that you actually do feel sorry, that you actually would change or want to, or that you are, or that you will do better, or even that you need an apology from them. It could go either way here, depending on where side you fall on. But he says it in a way where it just really kind of paints the whole picture of like, I needed that. I heard someone say I needed that. So somebody could step on your toe and break it. Somebody could step on your toe and break it. And actually feel sorry. But if they don't tell you sorry, when you gotta go to the doctor, when you have to blah blah blah, when you can't fucking walk or whatever, it's gonna hurt even more. Because why the fuck did that even happen? And do they even care? But the second that you actually can admit that you may have disappointed somebody or that they did it to you or whatever, that allows space for healing. That allows space for growth. So something as I said something earlier about even if it's just like writing in your journal to yourself or talk to yourself about what you've been going through and how it has made you feel, how it has impacted you, and still being able to push forward with your career, still being loyal and for some of you guys like really considerate and compassionate. Like that's amazing. You're killing it. Keep going. Wow. Okay. So if that resonated, please, please, please give it a like and come back for another one on my channel. I have to close this out now and move on to card number 2 because, wow, this one got long. But okay. I'm going to pick these cards up now. Spirit, while I pick these cards up, please cleanse the energy from the table and from the cards and tap me into card number 3 as we start their energy check and their reading. Again, if you guys want access to more growth and healing readings like this, I have a specific tier for that on Patreon. And you can access readings like that on other tiers, but that's the one that just has readings like this in this topic. So you're not flooded with a bunch of different stuff. Okay. There we go. Let's see. Card number 2. Card number 2 is the Ace of Wands. Yes. And we're going to get started in just a little bit. I'm going to put the timestamp in the chat real quick. Card 1. I think we started card 1 at like 2 minutes, and card 2 will start at 40. Okay. Hi, card number 2. Welcome to your reading. Today we're going to be looking at how you've been killing it. And we're going to be examining 3 different areas of your life. The first being your personal growth. The second will be your career, your money, basically your goals, your success. And then the final one will be love, whether that is with your partner, your friends, or your family. So we'll start this reading with an energy check. I wanted to show you guys this card up a little up closer, just because 1, I don't use this deck very often, and 2, this is where I'll be channeling from for this energy check. Okay. Spirit, how has card number 2 been killing it? How has card number 2 been killing it? We're going to use our affirmation deck here to start off. That magic unicorn. How have they been killing it? What's their energy been? How have they been killing it? Just one. Just one. That's two. I'm not taking it. Okay. We've got on the top, nature. It's time to unleash your inner hippie and step outside of that man-made box. Take a walk in the woods, smell those flowers, hug some trees. You might think you're being ironic, like, look at me, I'm being all tree huggery and stuff. But you'll find, even then, those trees will hug you back. Trees come from a time before irony, and their earnestness is impervious to our jaded humor. If that doesn't make you want to hug them even more, well, I guess you're a robot. Okay. I like that one. Some of you guys, you have a nice sense of humor. And for others of you, you're just rooted, grounded, and down to earth. And that's how you've been killing it. So maybe you're not somebody to be caught up on this brand or this celebrity or this or that. And it doesn't mean that you can't be interested. It doesn't mean that you can't know. But I feel like that's not your end all be all. Okay. So what other affirmation do we have for card number 2? What other information do we have? Affirmation. Okay, this one. Inhale confidence and exhale doubt. Inhale confidence and exhale doubt. Okay, that's dope, actually. All right, let's move our magic unicorn out of the way and get into your message. So these were blind pulls. We'll also be doing shuffles. And these cards are basically going to be telling me what you have been doing, what you've been going through, and where you're going to be, what you're turning into. And this is the final part of the energy check. So if this doesn't sound anything like you, then choose another group, okay? Here we go. King of Swords. King of Swords. The Five of Cups. Oh, damn. Oh. And the Four of Cups in reverse. Oh, I love that. Yes, yes. Thank you, Jesus. I'm so glad that the Four of Cups came in reverse. Good. Okay. So I feel like in this group, some of you guys, what you've been doing is, I heard you've been doing things the smart way. You've been keeping your composure. If you are in a situation where you can't show how you really feel, you can't say what you're really feeling or thinking, either because you have to strategize, because another person wouldn't understand it, because it's just not, I don't know why I just heard somebody say it's just not right. It's not the right move. That's how you've been killing it. We'll see why as we get further into the reading. Again, this is just the energy check. But the Five of Cups, unfortunately, some of you guys, you've been dealing with people, whether you realize it or not, if they're doing it in your face or around other people, they could actually be speaking down on you or trying to paint you as like less than. For some of you guys, it's like people blaming you for things that they fucked up. Taking their sadness, their anger, their depression, their insecurities out on you. And you're still standing or sitting very, it feels like strong. And even if you're not, you appear very content. You appear like you can see right through them. Like you know where that's coming from. And you're also not going to let that taint you or hold you back. And where you're going, if you're not already there with the Four of Cups, is it's not going to hurt as much, and you're not going to care as much, and it probably will roll right off of you. The Four of Cups, when it's upright, it can be apathy, it can be depression, mood swings, a time when you're just not quite feeling like yourself, and it's because your emotional center is off. And a lot of the time, what I like to say is because of your environment. So I don't always blame people when they're in the Four of Cups energy, because sometimes life does get us there. But it's about getting yourself out, and it's about noticing or recognizing that you don't have to be stuck in that, you do have a choice, and you can make a difference in your own life. And I feel like in this group, nature always reminds me, to me, it's like the environment. So some of you guys, it's like you can accept and acknowledge that some things just are the way that they are, but that doesn't have to make you think less of yourself or where you're going, or even make you doubt yourself or make you think you're crazy or any of the things that other people might say or want you to think so that they benefit or so that they feel better. So if that sounds like you, something that you've gone through either right now or in your life period, keep watching. And we're going to get into your reading now a little bit more thorough and in depth about the different areas of your life, that being your personal growth, your career, your money, and your love relationships, whether that is with partners or friends or family. Okay, so I will be picking up these cards, and if I feel the need to go back to them and bring them up later, I will. So let's see. Again, let me know if the microphone sounds a little off or anything at any point, because that sucks. And I don't want you guys to have to wait until the closed captions come just to fix that. Okay. So, Spirit, tap me in. Tell me about their personal growth first. I'm going to shuffle and get all the cards out on the table, and then we'll move into it, okay? So if I get quiet for a little bit, that's okay. How about you guys focus on our magical unicorn while I get the cards out? Tell me about their personal growth. Okay. 2 of Pentacles. Tell me about their personal growth. Tell me about their personal growth. I heard seasons change. It's getting colder where I am in the States now, so I don't know if that's significant to anyone here. We have the 2 of Cups. Wow, 2 of Cups. Okay. And the King of Swords. No way. That's you. So I want you guys to know in this group that the biggest improvement that you have made in your life, the biggest way that you're killing it right now, is the way that you have been growing as a person. It doesn't have anything to do with anyone else. It's just you as a person. Obviously, it will spread into your personal relationships and your career and everything. That's just how life goes. But you're leading this. Okay. So let's see. Tell me how. How are they working their magic? Tell me how. Clarifying the 2 of Pentacles. Tell me about the actions, the specific actions that they've been doing to improve themselves in their life personally. That's 2 cards, so I'm not going to take it. You guys have been going crazy, I feel like. You've been going crazy. You bouncing back. Okay. 3 of Swords. Wow. 3 Swords. I'm so sorry. I'm saying I'm sorry because I feel like in this group, if you've had to hurt another person's feelings or be cold in a situation where you actually really did care, if you've had to grieve or you have gone through depression or even some sort of pain or trauma, because this heart literally has a bandage on it, that was a similar message in another group, but I feel like in this one, it didn't come out in the energy check. It's coming out in your personal growth. So for some of you guys, I don't know if it's like you're having to do this. Either you're having to accept the 3 Swords or you're dishing it out. And sometimes that is growth because maybe you never allowed yourself to do that in the past. What I mean by that is, like some people can hurt you and you might just swallow it. You might just keep going and not do anything back or not say anything back. And I'm not saying it's about retaliation. I'm saying sometimes you do have to defend yourself. Sometimes you do have to stick up for yourself or let another person know you can't be fucking played with because, bitch, you're dusty. Sometimes you do have to be a bit of a savage or put yourself first. Have strong boundaries and not fucking waver and be looked at like someone who doesn't care or looked at someone who is like the devil or the bad person or the villain in another person's eyes. Who gives a fuck though? You need to be happy. So if that's something you've been doing, congratulations. You've been killing it. And if you haven't done that, try it. Spirit's urging you to try it because I feel like that's how you will grow and that's how you will get happier. Okay. So tell me about the 2 of Cups. How have they been growing? Wheel of Fortune. Uh-oh. Okay. Too many cards. What else? Ooh, there it is. The 8 of Wands. Damn. Some of you guys, I don't know if you recently got in a relationship. That relationship is making you better. That partner is making you better. That's dope because we haven't even gotten into love yet. Let's say you're not in a relationship. I don't know why I heard in this group, you don't have to do much for destiny to come, for fate to come, for your good luck to come. You don't have to do much in this group. What you've been doing is more than enough for your luck to start to change. For the Wheel of Fortune and the 8 of Wands to be coming out, it's like swiftly. So I feel like in this group, people are loving you more. And you don't even have to be doing anything. So in this group, it's like your aura and your energy is just improving, period. So let's say you are usually that friend or that person who is always there, who people can call, people can help, or you're that coworker or that colleague or that boss or whatever, and you always have the solution. You're always taking care of this, doing that, or whatever. And maybe you're just a little spread thin. Maybe you haven't been able to hit up people the way you usually do, or I don't know, life could just be kicking your ass. You have a lot of responsibilities and you're focusing on that, and anything that's not contributing or helping you in any way, you're not giving it any energy. That's making you look more attractive. That's actually bringing solutions into your life because you're staying focused on you and what's working for you instead of helping other people. So I don't know if there's anyone with like Virgo in their chart. Definitely can relate if you do. But the reason why I got that is because I was more so thinking about how the archetype behind Virgo, regardless of if that's your sign or in your chart or anything, but the archetype behind that is somebody who is of service, someone who helps, who has solutions, and who really a lot of the time does a lot of things on their own without really getting a lot back. But that's because that's their spirit and that's also who they are. And the universe repays them for it. So even if you're not getting that reciprocity from that person, from that job, from that whatever, personally, you will get it. And I feel like in this group, you will see, but it will show up in your relationship. It will show up in the way that people feel more attracted to you. Like, I don't know if you've recently been having people want to hit you up more, want to call you more, want to reach out to you more, want to know what you got going on. And I don't know if they could be reaching out or telling you things to make it seem like they're approaching you for a different reason. So, like some people, they want to talk to you, they want to hang out with you, but they have to find a stupid reason to. Like, oh, I need help with this. Can you help me or whatever? They don't actually need help. They want to be around you. Or let's say your family member or your cousin, your little kid or whatever comes up to you and they ask you, do you know where I can find blah, 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 or whatever? They already knew. They already fucking knew. They just want to interact with you. And how is this personal growth? Some of you guys, it's because you need to know that you're loved. You need to know that you are attractive and that there's a spark there. So let's say you have been isolating and it's not people hitting you up, but that you want to talk to somebody. You want to hit somebody up, or you want to put yourself out there more. You want to start going on dates, or you want to take your partner out and make them feel nice or whatever. Because I am seeing the Two of Cups, that is giving me something to do with the relationships in your life, whether they are there or they're not, has been making you grow. So again, sometimes you don't have relationships because you're healing yourself, or because the people that you did have around are not good for you anymore and the tables upturned and you let them know that. And other times it's just because your energy needed to change and evolve a little bit more so that the people that you attract, the opportunities you attract, are actually right for you. Tell me about the King of Swords and how they've been growing personally. Yeah, I feel like other people's energy, for real, is this Page of Cups. So you have other people around you that show potential, that try to be practical, that try to get the job done. But maybe they're not always that successful. Maybe sometimes they're lazy, or I don't know. Some of you guys, I don't know if it's that they cause you a loss. And so then you have to get in the King of Swords energy and be like, Some of you guys, this is bleeding into your career too. It's interesting. I wonder who I'm talking to in this group. Okay. Bottom of the deck is the Magician. And the Two of Swords. Yeah, this is somebody who is not doubting their capabilities at all. The Magician did come out in the other group, but I feel like with the Two of Swords coming through here, it's like the decisions that you're making, even if they appear logical, I feel like they actually are like divinely guided. What I mean by that is, like, have you ever taken a test and you don't know how you knew the answer or how you got it right or how you aced it, but you did? Why? Because you're already equipped. You already have all the tools. You already know what you need to know. It's really just putting the pen to the paper. It's really just putting it into action. I feel like in this group, you're very thorough, and that's been showing in terms of your personal growth. As I split the deck, I'm seeing the Moon and the Nine of Pentacles. You're making a lot of people insecure in this group, and it's not your fault, but it's because you're not them, and they're not as skilled as you. They don't have the willpower, the desire for this and that like you do, and they don't know how to manifest, but you do. I don't know if this is the group of psychics or the group of spirituals or the group of whatever, but you don't look that way on the outside. Okay. So how have they been killing it in terms of career and money? in their long-term goals and success. Let's start with this one actually. How have they been killing it that way? How have they made the most improvement? What's the most improvement that they made in terms of their work, their career? Too many, but the 9 of Wands is there. If you want to access more readings like this, you can definitely hit the links below by the timestamps. You can either purchase access to the collection of growth confidence boost readings on my channel, and there's 39 growing readings on there. Each of those readings would basically be like $1. It's like $30 to buy the whole thing, and you get access to all the current and future ones. So you don't have to have a monthly membership to access readings like this. You can pay one fee and get all of them, or you can pay monthly. I try to put options for everybody in their circumstances because not everybody can commit, and other times, maybe they can. So Queen of Swords, damn, we got the Queen of Swords and the King of Swords. But the Queen of Swords is coming out for how you've been in your work. Interesting. So some of you guys, I don't know if it's that you actually have been sharing your knowledge, having conversations. That came out in card number 1, but I feel like the conversations and then the interactions that they were having were more emotions based. Some of you guys, this is more like staying. I don't know if it's like staying on track or not veering off of the project, the plan, the result. Temperance. You're doing things in moderation in this group. So let's say maybe you usually work yourself, you overwork yourself. Maybe you're taking a break when you need to. I feel like the people you work with or the organization or your clients or whatever, if you're self-employed, if you're not working right now, then this will be how you impact people once you do start working, if you decide to. But I feel like people actually do benefit from you because you give good and solid advice. And I also feel like when it comes to work, though, it doesn't feel like they're just talking to a colleague. It also feels like they're talking to somebody that would want somebody to tell them these things. You are giving advice or doing work or whatever, providing a service or whatever that you would accept yourself. Tell me about the King of Swords. And you're killing it, by the way. You're killing it, and you're looking ethereal. You're looking attractive while you do it too. 3 of Cups, and the World card wanted to come out in reverse. How are they killing it? There it is. 9 of Pentacles. It came back out. Yeah, the 9 of Pentacles did come out when I split the deck earlier. It was the 9 of Pentacles and the Moon. Yeah. And it was in the Doodle Tarot when I split the deck just now. And here it is. It came out for how you have been killing it in terms of work. I feel like in this group, you've been focusing on you. And that's awesome. Awesome. I think I said that earlier. It doesn't matter if you have to break a little heart, if you're disappointing another person or whatever. Because I feel like your intentions are pure and the right people know that. So Hangman on the bottom of the deck. How can I explain that? So let's say you have a coworker or a colleague or whatever, and obviously apply this to your situation as you see fit. I'm just giving like an example so you can kind of understand my interpretation. But the 9 of Pentacles, they are self-sufficient. They're responsible, and they can also enjoy good things because they are that way. And so a lot of the time when they're in a career where they're working, they look like somebody people will want to hire. They look like somebody people might want to have as a co-partner, co-founder, starting up with or whatever, because they already have a lot under their belt. They're confident in those abilities and they leverage them in the workplace and everything. So again, if this is something that you're not doing, then you need to start. You need to start. Ooh. Hold on, y'all. I'll have to call her back. But so how can I give you an example? And you don't have to be interviewing. You don't have to be interviewing. It's just an example. When somebody goes to an interview and they're in the 9 of Pentacles energy, when somebody asks them, how could you blah, 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 blah to this organization, or what can I get from allowing you to provide me this, blah, 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 you know, and you say it. Oh, well, in my experience, I've done X, Y, and Z, and I formed these results, blah, 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 blah. And this place is better because blah, 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 blah. And it's both humble, because you know that obviously for you to do that, the company had to exist and other people had to work. Maybe you had to work with so-and-so and talk to this person about it in exchange, whatever. But at the end of the day, you produce the result. And it's because you were confident enough to put yourself out there to even shoot that shot or put yourself in that in that place to reap the benefits, if that makes sense. So, but the opposite of the Nine of Pentacles, let's say if they were showing up as the Page, which is people around you, okay, they are like, I might not know this, but I could try. The Page of Pentacles they show potential. Okay, the Nine of Pentacles, they know their potential and they have harnessed it and they're about to get to the 10. That's the difference. Okay, so I asked earlier in terms of your personal growth, right? Who's around you? Who's in your energy? It's pages. So people that you probably are giving good advice, people you probably are helping. And I feel like for some of you guys, this is extended into your career too. If it's not that you're giving them advice or like helping them or whatever, I feel like it's that you're doing your part and that's how you are keeping shit together. So maybe you're just not a slacker. Maybe you just have a nice balance to you, what I was saying earlier with the Temperance card. Because I did say that you can have fun. So some of you guys, you make work fun. You find pleasure in the work that you do. You take pleasure in the work that you do. And if you don't, you should try a different field. Because I do feel like in this group, you're meant to be appreciated for the work that you do. You're meant to be compensated for it. And you're also meant to be acknowledged for it. And you are meant to make whatever like workspace or whatever thing that you do better. So this isn't like the group of people where it's like you're coasting or you're just doing the bare minimum. If you are, you should stop, because I feel like that's going to be the change that once you change that, that's when you get, almost feels like everything. Okay. Tell me more about career, money, and long-term goals and success and how they've been killing it in that area of their life. That was too many cards. The three, yes, the Three Pentacles. Didn't I tell you? Didn't I just say that? Look, it says teamwork on this card, apprenticeship. So what's interesting about this group too is that you aren't somebody that believes that you can't learn as well. Yes, you can help this person. Yes, you can teach them a thing or two. Hold on 1 second. Yes, you can show people your skills and your abilities and your craftsmanship or whatever. But at the end of the day, I say this a lot on my channel, but it's like we don't do anything alone. The food that you eat, someone else made it. Someone else tended to it. And you could, let's say you have your own garden or whatever. Someone tended to the earth where you are growing that shit way before you came along. You don't do anything in this life alone, okay? So even with the trees, even the fucking trees are there. They're living and they're breathing and they're helping you. And I said something earlier about nature with your affirmation card, right? Nature. It's not about being ironic. It's not about being hippy-dippy or anything. It's about understanding. I feel like in this group, you really know your role and you really know your place everywhere you go, in your relationships, in your job, and that's how you're killing it. Some of you guys, it's the way that you avoid conflict or the way that you manage conflict in the workplace or in your career period. It's the way that you handle people when they are ready to learn versus when they're not. So let's say someone in your career or in your work or whatever, they actually do take your advice, actually do trust your expertise. And because they do, you do your best. But it could be another situation, another person or whatever, where maybe they just constantly want to be in disharmony for no reason. They constantly are showing apathy to your cause, or they don't want to contribute, even if that's their fucking job. Or let's say you're dealing with people that are, they show potential, but they're constantly making mistakes. They're constantly doing things that you have to fix or whatever. That's how you're killing it. Because how do you do that? And how are you better than people that probably have more experience than you, been doing it for longer than you? Seven of Wands. Yeah, okay, so this is the two sides that you've been balancing. So one of them is the Seven of Wands. Let's see the other one. What's the other one? Nope, too many. The other one is the Death card. Okay. What you're facing. Some of you guys, I don't know if it's like something to do with your work or whatever. Things are being dragged out. Things are taking longer. You could be dealing with people who need to do things differently in your workplace or whatever, but they don't want to. It's like they're fighting it. They're fighting you coming in, being the one that is actually supposed to make things better. So what do? You stand up. You keep going. I don't care if I'm telling you that this is better and you don't want to hear it because it's the fucking truth. I don't care if you thought you did a good job and you didn't, and I had to redo it. I don't care if that hurt your feelings. You should have done it right the first time. It's like something like that. I mean, the 7 of Wands to me is somebody that stands in their power. They're assertive. They take initiative. And they also are very protective over the work that they do and their skill set or whatever. And they're not going to let anybody else push them around or bully them or keep them down. No, not at all. And I said earlier, that was what you were being. You were being that King of Swords. You're not letting anyone question you. You're not letting anyone, overstep. And you're definitely not letting anyone underestimate you. So if you are, stop it right now and try this instead and see what changes for you. This is giving confidence, for real. This is really giving a lot of confidence, but this is just you. Like, this is who you are. You should be confident. You should be seen as strong and like capable because you are. Tell me about the Page of Pentacles. Tell me about the Page of Pentacles. Queen of Wands, let's say that. Look, it says right there on the card, confident. And funny. I said earlier, something because you have a nice sense of humor. I could see a lot of you guys, though, like, majority of the time making your workplace or, the work that you do or the people you work with or whatever, like, really feel like things can be light. It doesn't always have to be so difficult. But I feel like the ones that are intimidated by you, the ones that, I don't know if it's they feel like their job or place or role or whatever is in jeopardy, or they just feel like you've outgrown them or whatever. I don't know. But you might have to let you might have to let them go or just let them keep doing what they're doing. Because I feel like in this group, you really are enlightened. You are enlightened when it comes to your career, your money, and the workplace. So, like there are some people, they master the area of love in their life sooner than others. Like, oh my God, I met the love of my life when I was 15 and we've been married 45 years and I'm so happy. And then you ask them about their job and it's different. They don't have the same experience with their job. And then there are other people where they're like, yeah, I have a Fortune 500 company and I'm on the Forbes list, but I've never been loved truly. I've never had a crush, or I've never actually fallen in love. I've never had that opportunity. Sometimes life is like that, but I feel like in this group, it's the work and the career that is actually either going to start showing you that this is truly who you are, or it is already. Sometimes you don't view yourself as like as successful and as adequate and competent as you are, but other people do. The universe does. The universe knows. Okay, tell me about the Page of Pentacles for the people around you. Did I already? Yeah. Tell me about the energy and the people around them when it comes to their work, their career, and their money. And how does this correlate to the 9 of Pentacles energy that they've been showing? I feel like in this group, you show so much maturity. So much maturity. And it's not like one of those things where you have to tell people, well, like some people, I'm not trying to sound any type of way, but like, just because somebody has been doing something for a long time, or they have this credential or this title or whatever, doesn't mean that they're good at their job. It doesn't mean that they are actually legit. And I feel like in this group, you're very legit. And it's coming through so strongly. Like a very respectable person. And if another person doesn't want to respect you or they disrespect you, it's because they're insecure, and it's because they feel threatened. And you probably they're meant to sweep that bitch under the rug and have people forget about them. Even if it means leaving. Okay. Ooh, there it is. The Ace of Swords. Yeah, so it's like, I don't know if it's like you're around people that need some sort of breakthrough. They need new, fresh ideas. They need somebody who is honest and truthful and who actually is successful. They need somebody who actually knows, and that's you. So the people around you, I don't know. It's like sometimes they have poor judgment, or they get confused by things that you just know inherently. Or they miscommunicate and you don't. They're destructive and you're not. Where they break shit down that you have to fix, you build it up. And you build such a strong foundation or whatever that it doesn't have to be done again. It doesn't have to be overdone or scrutinized or anything like that. No one's looking at the work that you do for Aries because you got that shit. What? Bottom of the deck is, oh my God, 7 of Pentacles. Yeah, in this group, even if you haven't seen it yet, and in terms of your finances or the goals that you want, your hard work is going to pay off. If it doesn't pay off for card number 2, it's not going to pay off for nobody. I'm going to tell you right now. Because this is a hard-working person. This is a very, very, very dedicated person, patient person, thorough. And it says here, wasn't I talking about results this whole time? Look, it says here, results, growth. You're not lazy in this group. And I don't feel like you're impatient either. And that's where the enlightenment comes from. Some people, they feel entitled to things. They feel entitled to that lover or that job or this annual salary or whatever. And they don't actually do shit for their partner, for their job. They don't actually make anything better. You leave things better than the way you found it, especially when it comes to your career and your job. Okay, so let's move on now to love. Friends, family, partners. How are they killing it in that area of life? And then we're going to move on to card number 3 after this, okay? If it resonates at any point, please, please, please give it a like and come back for another one on my channel. I love you guys so much. If you want to access more readings like this, go ahead and hit the description box by the timestamps, and you'll find the collection of all the readings like this. And you can buy those individually, or you can purchase the collection or do the monthly subscription for $10. Okay, so King of Pentacles. That's you. It's so interesting because card number 1 got the King of Pentacles for how they were showing up, I think, in their career. But you got it for how you're showing up with your friends and family in love. So you're dependable. You're serious. You provide. If you're single, then again, apply this to your friends. Apply this to your family. It's like you make people feel taken care of. You make people feel like if they have a problem, they could probably come to you and you would be happy to help them because you're family, because you love them, because you care for them, because they have a place in your life. And you're never too busy for them. You're never too stressed or like it's not like it's like you're coming off like you're not one of those people that's like it bothers you to actually care or take care of something. So let's say you're single, or let's say you actually are terrible at that. You aren't the most reliable. You don't be picking up the phone when people need you. You don't take care of that thing that you said you were going to do. You don't follow through on your promises. Then you need to start and see how your friends and your family and your love life actually improves. But I feel like for a lot of you guys in this group, you actually do these things naturally. Naturally. You are this way. Queen of Cups. Oh, wow. Oh. You emotionally nurture people too. You give people space to receive empathy and care. And I also feel like in this group too, you can be honest about your feelings and receive love as well. There are some people that are really, really, really good in a partnership because they can give love, they can provide, but they don't know how to accept it. So sometimes that can make their partners or their friends or their family feel like the relationship is inadequate or the relationship is not equal, or that they're just going to leave them because they don't accept anything from them. It doesn't feel equal. It doesn't feel like a two-way street, but that's the opposite with you. That's how you've been killing it. So again, if you haven't been doing those things, you need to try and see how your love life, your family life, your relationships, all of that change for the better. How else? What's their focus? How have they been showing up in their love life? Friends, family, others, partners. The Empress. Damn. Oh my God. How do you do this? Like, this is so crazy. How do you do this? Here you have this strong masculine connection here. Again, doesn't matter the gender. But then there's the femininity here with the Queen of Cups. The emotional part. So there's the physical and then there's the emotional. What I mean by that is like other people have proof or evidence that you actually do care, that you actually do show up as a friend, as a lover, as a romantic partner or whatever, whether that is gifts, whether that is acts of service that you've done for them or whatever. But then on top of that, they also have the feelings and the memories and the care that you provide consistently. The King of Pentacles, if they're anything, they're consistent as fuck. So you're not going to take somebody out on a nice ass date and then never do it again. No, you're going to keep going. You're not going to help your kid with their homework once and then never ask them how they did on the test after. No, that's not you. So if that is you, if you are forgetful, if you do one thing and you don't do whatever, if you make a promise and you don't actually follow through on it or whatever, if you just yap and you, oh my God, I love this group too, because you got the King of Swords too. So again, if you say you're going to do something, I feel like you do it. And that's how you're killing it. Because there's so many people that aren't like that. And they end up getting left. They end up getting left. Or they end up hurting other people or making them feel undervalued. And I feel like in this group, you're not like that. That's how you're killing it. Wow. I thought it was going to be work. I thought it was going to be work that you were killing it the most. But look, you're showing up as the Empress or the Emperor. I feel like in this group, it's really the Empress. And I'll tell you why. But the reason why is because you being like this as a person, period. Not just because how you act with friends and family or whatever, how you act with the colleagues or whatever. It's a whole full picture. The Emperor and the Empress is the whole full picture when you look at them. They're amazing. But the Empress is special because People want to take care of them. People want to help them. People want to see them succeed. People want to compliment them and make them feel loved, because the Empress is so loving. They're so natural. They're so peaceful. So some of you guys, that's how you kill it, is because you're just a safe space for, it feels like everyone, like your family, your loved ones. This is somebody who takes care of others and deserves to be taken care of too. And it's making me emotional. I don't know. Wow, it's making me so emotional. All of this makes you extremely attractive too. I think I was saying something earlier about like your aura. That's what it is. And this group is like, I feel like this is the group of lovers. Like the group of people who actually love hard. You don't have to question people like this. You don't have to beg them to do things that they're supposed to do. You don't have to get in an argument because they're doing bare minimum and feeling entitled. You don't have to beg them to give you attention, even if their work is busy or this is going on or whatever. No, they balance. Is this the group that got the Two of Pentacles? Yep, they balance. I said that earlier with your personal growth. It's balancing all of these things so well. So well. So well. And you don't even look like you're struggling. You look like you're doing all these things because you want to, because you care, and because that's it. Like, that's just life. Like, God, this group is so mature. So mature. If you're not in a relationship, you're the partner that so many people deserve, or so many people would want. Not a lot of people deserve you. Let me correct that. Not a lot of people deserve you. So if you have to break up, if you have to hurt some hearts, if you have to let them know that they are not fucking pulling their weight, that they got you fucked up, or that they got it twisted, or that they're just ungrateful, POS, let them know. This group, like I said, you could be humble, but at the end of the day, you could be confident too, because you bring a lot to the table in this group. A lot, so much. And other people cannot find someone like you. They're not going to be able to find someone like you. Not in work, not in love. You'd be an excellent parent too in this group, if that's what you want. So if another person is treating you like the opposite, leave them. Leave them. And before you leave them, let them know exactly why, okay? And let them know where they failed you. And it's not about getting even. It's not about retaliating. It's not about trying to hit somebody where it hurts. It's about letting them fucking know. So that the next time that they meet someone as pure and as awesome as you, that they do it right. That they get it right. That they don't make another person have to heal or, cry or whatever. No. No. Nip that shit in the bud. I feel like the death card, I love the death card because they shake shit up. They shake the room. And it's just their energy. Somebody being a good partner or being in love around somebody that is a shitty partner that cheats or has never really had true and authentic love is going to make that other person feel, they're shaking the fucking room. Like, it's going to make them feel like shit. It's going to make them feel, it's like they're going to see that comparison. You know what I mean? Somebody who enters the workplace or starts this project or whatever, and they're around another person that doesn't put in the same amount of effort, that doesn't know how to reap the same benefits, that doesn't actually bring results, what are they going to feel? They're going to feel like shit. They're going to feel like they're worthless, and they're going to feel like they're replaceable, because they are. You can't replace somebody like this. You can't replace card number 2. You just can't. Let's get one more card from this deck, and I'll do a little bit more clarifications. The Judgment. Judgment card. Judgment card. How are you killing it in terms of love, friends, and family? You're holding it down in this group. You hold it down. You're taking things seriously. So, okay. We've got the Six of Wands. Oh, wow. Aw. The Tower. Shake shit up. Like I said, the Tower. And the Sun. Oh, I love it. Okay. And bottom of the deck, Eight of Cups. Yeah, so I have to say, if you have walked away from somebody, it was the right thing to do. It was the right thing to do. Because either they were going to be experiencing the greatness that you provide without reciprocating, or you were going to be feeling abandoned or feeling neglected right around them, right in their presence. So for those of you where you're single, or you're not in a relationship, or you recently cut off that family member, whatever, you're killing it, baby. You are killing it. Okay. And it's going to improve your energy and your aura. If you haven't done it already, you should fucking do it. If you were thinking about it, you should fucking do it. If you're happy where you are, then don't. But you've made the most improvement. Mm. It feels like for some of you guys, you've made the most improvement when it comes to your love life. When I say love, again, I'm not just talking about relationships. I'm talking about family. I'm talking about friends. Even if you don't have friends, maybe you had shitty ones and you let them go. It improved you and your aura. It really did. Some of you guys, if you're married, um, maybe you are that partner that doesn't give up, that keeps pushing, works through the problems. Maybe you are the partner that makes your partner feel lucky to have you. You don't have to be married for this, by the way, but it's like being with you feels like a victory, feels like success. So again, if you're with somebody that doesn't treat you like that doesn't treat you like you are a fucking prize, like they could literally never find anyone like you, then you shouldn't be with them. You shouldn't. Because the only thing they're going to do is make you feel defeated, disappointed, lost, and like it was a failure. You should be with somebody in this group that literally gasses you and like worships the ground that you walk on. And I feel like you could be that way with them too. But if you're not getting that, then you should be with them. And I mean that with friends and family too. You should be friends with people that actually, when they see you doing good, tell you. You should be friends with people that when they see when they see things going on in your life, when they see you down, they should be picking you up. When they see you suffering, they should want to make that stop because they know that you would do that for them. So if you're around people that just avoid you when you're going through something difficult, if you're around people that ignore you, undervalue you in any way, let them go. They shouldn't be in your life. I don't even know how they're still there. Strength card, as I say that. Because I feel like this is the group of people where you're so loyal, you're so strong, and like the things that you have been through, a lot of people wouldn't know, they couldn't tell, but they also wouldn't be able to endure. That's in love, that's in career, that's in your own personal life too. You are a joy. You're a joy. And you can bring a lot of positivity to the people around you. You can uplift people. You can elevate people. You can level people up. Your friends, your lovers. You are the person that people want and need in their corner. So yeah, in this group, make sure that you're being treated as such, you're being spoken about as such. Anything less than that, it's not going to work for you. It shouldn't. Okay? All right. If that resonated, give it a like and come back for another one on my channel. I'm going to get started now with card number 3, and then we're going to close it out. Okay? Love you. Here we go. Wow. Wow. Very, very, very interesting reading this one. Oh my God. Thank you so much for commenting. This is so crazy. Okay, so I think I mentioned earlier, let me know if something happened with the sound. Thank you for commenting. I'm not sure how long it's been out, so I might actually do something like put a link in the description box for card number 3, where you guys can hear the messages that got taken out. Thank you for commenting and let me know. I'm going to keep this on the table, and what I might do actually is do an extended for the reading, or yeah, I might do an extended for the reading and make it available to the general public on Patreon. So if you guys did choose this group, the messages that were you couldn't hear for, I'll put them there. So you don't have to be like subscribed or whatever to access it, but I will put that there. I think it only was for card number 3. No worries. Sound is all good now. Okay, cool. Okay, so let me get one more card. And then okay, strength card. Strength card and the King of Swords. Okay, so I think I might say this one real quick because I feel like, yeah, Queen of Wands came out again. So interesting because you got it here, the Queen of Wands. Okay, so in this group, how have you been killing it lately? In terms of your own personal growth, you got this Knight of Swords and the King of Pentacles. I feel like you're taking care of yourself better. You're taking care of yourself better in your needs, and if you have a goal or anything in mind, you're actually going towards that. You're staying consistent, and that's doing wonders for you. It's also making you appear like somebody who takes themselves seriously. They live seriously, their business seriously, all of that. You also had, in terms of your personal growth, the Hanged Man and the Knight of Cups. And it was clarified here with the Four of Cups in reverse. So some of you guys, let's say you were going through a difficult time emotionally. It's that you're getting out of that. You're allowing yourself to see a new perspective, to stop and smell the roses. For others of you, you are actually allowing yourself to be and connect a little bit more to your sensitive side. And this shows in your family, your friends, relationships, but especially in your romantic partnerships. Some of you guys, let's say you've had a rough past. How you have been killing it lately is that you've been getting on the straight and narrow. You've been balancing yourself more emotionally. You've been releasing things that don't serve you. And I also feel like, oh, let me put the timestamp for when the sound got fixed so I can know when to come back. Sorry. So I know when to come back and put that link for card 3 sound back. I'm going to say it was around like 2:09. Yeah. Sorry, y'all. Anyway. I feel like this is the group of people when it comes to being a better person, growing, evolving. You're not stalling anymore. You're not, and don't take this as anymore because some of you guys, you were never like this, but you're not in a victim mentality anymore. You're not indecisive and you're not resisting change that needs to happen. What I mean by that is like, you know how like there's some people where they go through something, right? And they have a chip on their shoulder for the rest of their fucking life, but that didn't serve them. It didn't serve them after the first 5-10 years after that incident happened. There are some people who get their heart broken and then they believe that they're never going to get love again. And it doesn't serve them. It doesn't serve them anymore because they could be people that really want to love them, could tend to those wounds and heal them, but they would never fucking know because they stayed in that energy. I feel like for this group, you're the opposite of that. Or what you've been doing now for your personal growth lately is you've been killing it because you're not staying stuck like that. And I also got, in terms of personal growth here, the Fool and the Fool. So you're embracing new beginnings. You are being a little bit more spontaneous. I don't know if it's getting that new haircut, trying that new salon, trying food at this place, when you usually do this. But I also feel like with the Fool card here, this is people in your energy too. So whether you acknowledge it or you can tell, especially in the workplace, because some of you guys, you have like haters in the workplace too, in your career, that have made things difficult for you or harder for you. You do have some people here that want to be a part of this growth. They want to be a part of this new chapter in your life, this new you. And you're killing it because maybe you're remaining open to that, or maybe you are getting yourself to a point where you can finally admit that maybe just maybe you were just in the wrong place, or you were just not in the right environment where you could thrive, where you could grow. Okay, so let me put these back here because we will talk about them as well. I just wanted to go back for the part where the sound kind of got messed up. So the second part that we talked about was work. And you have the Four of Pentacles, the Four of Wands, the Moon, and the King of Swords, the Temperance card, the Ace of Swords, the Queen of Wands, and the Knight of Swords. So This Knight of Swords is more so in your personal relationship, so I'll talk about that later, but I do feel like it bleeds through. We also have the Knight of Wands and the King of Swords for your work. So, in your college, or not your college, your work, your money, and your career. So, how have you been killing it in terms of that? It feels like you are holding on to what is important and letting go of what isn't. Some of you guys have actually been showing a little bit more generosity with your work, and that is helping you. If you haven't been doing these things, then this is spirit urging you to try these things to see how these areas of your life would change or develop with this advice or these tools in mind. So, what that means is you could be the smartest person in the room, but it doesn't mean that another person couldn't help you. And some of you guys, you're realizing that. But I also heard with the moon and the King of Swords too, that you do have some people, I don't know if it's that they're slackers, they don't want you to be more successful than them. They have a problem with you being this King of Swords sometimes, mentally clear, knowing your authority, being logical. So what they do instead is they try to be brutal. They try to control the situation. They can be oppressive even, or they try to paint you out to be that way. So everything that they're doing to you or whatever, maybe they're saying you're doing it. Even if it's not saying it to you, but just thinking it. I feel like in this group, you have a lot of people that make a lot of assumptions about you, and it happens the most in the workplace. And I'm not sure why just yet. It could be just simply because this is somebody, like I said, that takes himself seriously. So when you're around other people that don't take themselves seriously, when you're around other people that can't admit that they made mistakes or that maybe they could try this or do things differently, when you're around other people that aren't as innovative, that aren't as fresh as a thinker, that aren't as good at moderation as you are, that can't work and play hard, that can't tap into their intuition, that don't trust themselves and their gut, they make mistakes. They get fired. They hate their job and hate their life, but they stay anyways. And for some reason, they take that out on you in this group. Some of you guys, you experience things like that. So how you're killing it is the way that you navigate those situations and the way that you deal with that. The way that you are aware when somebody is just fearful, confused, got you confused for the wrong fucking one. Someone that is getting the wrong information and misinterpreting things or just unhappy with themselves, living in delusion. And then they see someone like you who's all about the truth, all about honor, and definitely is not going to let anybody bully them or, take them for granted or anything like that, especially in the career in the workplace. It changes them. It offends them. Sometimes it doesn't change them though. Sometimes it just offends them. And they feel like that's more than enough reason to treat you a certain way, act a certain way, whatever. But it's not. And I feel like you know that. And the way that you're killing it in your workplace or in your career, whatever, is understanding that not every opportunity is best for you, best suited for you, because you bring an expertise, you bring energy that it is intense with the moon, and it is intense in the sun, but it also is beneficial. Hmm. How are you killing it in the workplace with the Queen of Wands? Some of you guys, you're actually really funny, and you actually are positive as fuck, and you're generous too with the information that you have, the things that you know, and you actually can help people that want to be helped in the workplace. So I feel like if that is the case, then the way that you are killing it is that you are putting your efforts where it's appreciated. I also feel like in this group, in terms of your personal growth, you've been changing as a person, period. So it only makes sense that the way that you interact with your coworkers, with your colleagues, with your clients, or whatever changes too. And whether they want to admit it or not, you are making other people do that too. So in this group, let's say you have people and you see that they be copying you sometimes, quote unquote copying you, or and I don't like to use that word because I also feel like you can find inspiration in many ways and you can give people their props without it needing to be so negative, like everybody is inspired by somebody, in my opinion, or something, even if it's just like a thing that they saw or whatever and they didn't know who it came from or whatever. I feel like in this group, in terms of your career and your money, you actually are very inspirational. You do things differently. And I also feel like when you do things right, you know that and you're confident about that and your abilities and you might even communicate that. And I feel like that's how you're killing it too. You should definitely give yourself props where you can, because in this group, like I said, you're very thorough. You put a lot of effort and dedication into things, and sometimes your goals might take a long time, might take you a while. And with that with that in mind, hmm, it's okay to celebrate yourself. I said something in the reading before when the sound was kind of messed up about the sun and the moon card. And I feel like for some of you guys, unfortunately, you may actually have like karmics that you deal with in terms of your career and in your workplace. So what I mean by that is these are people that maybe in a past life you actually had some sort of interaction with and you knew them, whether it was a long-term relationship, a short-term relationship where they did something wrong or you did. But in this lifetime, it's kind of meant to be corrected, it's meant to be fixed. But sometimes it doesn't happen because, like I said earlier, not everybody can change, not everybody can adapt and become a new person like you are. And sometimes we go through a rebirth, and it doesn't mean that we've died and came back to life quite literally, but the parts of ourselves that we needed to shed have been shed. Mhm. Mhm. So some of you guys, I don't know if it's that you started treating yourself better, caring for yourself better, loving yourself harder. And so the way that you interact with your friends, your coworkers, and everything actually has changed. And not everybody can keep up with that. Not everybody wants to see you do better. Unfortunately, it's the truth, but not everybody wants to see you better, not even your own family. Because maybe even unconsciously, they think that that means that you're going to leave them. Maybe that means that they now have to pick up the slack that they weren't doing, that you were doing for them. Maybe that means that that causes them to take a deeper look at themselves and what they need to change and recognize that there's no excuses because someone like card number 3 can do it. Someone like card number 3 is still ambitious, still determined, still this, still that. I feel like in this group, you've been killing it with the way that you've achieved success and accomplishments, even if it's not as big to another person. I feel like for this group, your personal growth is so strong. So strong. And unfortunately for you, maybe you do have some people around you in the workplace or in your career having to do with money that are just always negative. They could be depressed themselves, they could be sad themselves, or even pretend to be happy when they're not. So wish those people healing. Unfortunately, if they have caused you harm in any type of way, I always say wish them healing because you don't want them to have to come back and meet that. You don't want to meet them in the next lifetime, right? And you also don't want them to meet another person in the next lifetime. And that person might just happen to be your best friend or be your son or be your daughter or whatever. And they fuck them over too. I always say wish people healing. It's hard. It's a hard thing to do, but I just feel like, things spiral out of control otherwise. And I feel like in this group, the way you've been killing it is because some of you guys, it's like, I heard I'm sexy and I know it. So let's say you do wear that outfit that you like to work. That's cool. Some of you guys, you've changed your style or you just raised your price. You raised your demands when it comes to work in your career. And that's important because with the Ace of Swords here, it's because you're true to yourself and you know who you are and you're clear about what you offer and what you bring to the table. And so anybody else that isn't, you will know because the way that they respond to you when you show up like this. So, wow. Okay, so now let's look at how you have been killing it in terms of your love life, and that could be romantic, that could be familial, that could be with your friends. It really doesn't matter. So we got the Queen of Wands. I actually think I'm gonna put, yeah, it's like this. Okay, I'm gonna shuffle from the Doodle Tarot for this. So the King of Wands is very attractive. They're also charming. Right here, this is the King of Wands. And the things that they want, they go and get it. So if you're in a relationship, it's the way that you make that partner feel pursued. Make them feel special, make them feel attractive. If you're not in a relationship right now, then it's the effort and the energy that you've been putting into yourself that makes you attractive and that makes other people want to be with you, even if you don't want to be with them. Because some people are single and they don't want to be in a relationship, but they're still fucking killing it. And again, it doesn't even have to be in terms of relationship. It could be friends and family too. Like you being happy and vibrant or generous even. You could be killing it that way. Spending more time with your loved ones. The King of Wands does things that they want to do. They don't do anything that they don't want to do. They take charge of their own life and they're in control, but it's a different way than the King of Swords. They're in control of their own happiness. They're in control of the way that they feel about themselves, the life that they live, and also the people that they let around them. They're untouchable, kind of feels. Ace of Swords. Yeah, there it is. All the swords energy. King of Swords, Ace of Swords here. You got the Ace of Swords there for how you've been dealing in your workplace too. So some of you guys, the changes or the things that you've been doing with your work and your career has actually improved your personal relationships. So let's say you were a workaholic before and you're now coming home earlier. Then that's improving your relationships with your friends, with your family, with your kids if you have them. Let's say it has nothing to do with you being a workaholic. You could even be unemployed. It doesn't matter. But maybe you are working on being more communicative, expressing yourself more, getting to the bottom of things, trying to understand your partner, your friends, and your family more. Then that's how you're killing it. Because it's not easy to do that, It's not always easy to communicate. It's not always easy to try to work things through and resolve things and to try to understand people. It is easy, though, to pass judgment. It is easy to say that one thing and be destructive. It is easy to miscommunicate and just chop things up to miscommunication and leave things alone. It is easy to let confusion persist. What's not easy, though, is breaking through. What's not easy, though, is opening your mind up to maybe another person's perspective. What's not easy is being honest if someone has hurt you or harmed you, or if you unintentionally did that to another person. It's not easy to do those things. It's not. Because sometimes it makes you feel shame, sometimes it makes you feel sad, and other times it doesn't really lead to the results that you want, and so you might regret it. But at the end of the day, you got it out. And I did say something earlier about your personal growth. It has a lot to do with release, has a lot to do with sacrifice and letting go of things. I did the energy check earlier. I'm pretty sure that part did have sound, but one of the cards you did get was the Eight of Cups. So that's why I'm saying that. And it also says here, become the best version of yourself. The only way that you can become the best version of yourself is when you're honest with yourself about who you are and where you used to be, in my opinion, and to actually take the steps that you need to grow. And we got that for the first card here about your personal growth, the Knight of Pentacles. You also got the Empress here. So I want you guys to know that you should be treated well. You should be seen in a positive light, so long as you are actually doing this work. Again, if you're not doing this, and this is Spirit trying to urge you to try it and see how these areas of your life improve. What if I am more honest? What if I am more thorough and try to understand and see other people's perspective more in my relationships? How would that impact it? If you're not doing that now, try it. What if I took accountability for times where I showed poor judgment or I was a bit destructive? What if I did that? Would that make me seem more confident? Would that make me seem more attractive? Probably. Because it makes you seem like a whole individual who has actually grown from their mistakes. So the Ace of Pentacles is all about growth. And that's what came out here for how you've been killing it in terms of your personal life and your relationships. I'm just going to speak from experience. Like, I would much rather respect and love somebody that knows that they're not perfect than somebody that acts like they are. Because I personally feel like somebody that acts like they are expects other people to be perfect too. And that's something I've had to grown with, in that way in my own personal life as well. You can be confident and still not be perfect. Tell me about the King of Swords. Clarify the King of Swords. Okay, so we have the Magician, willpower, desire, and creation. Didn't I tell you guys that we have the Magician? You have the Magician here. And that was the energy check for what you were getting. We were going to get it. So I feel like in this group, you guys have actually put a lot of thought, time, and energy into thinking about what it is that you want for your life. And for a lot of you guys, this has a lot to do with what you want your family relationship, your friends relationships, and like romantic relationships to look like and be like. And some of you guys, it's hard because maybe you've had friends, family, or partners that have actually tricked you or been out of touch, been unappreciative of what you actually do have to offer. So again, the more that you're honest with yourself, the more that you communicate with yourself, even if it's not with other people, the more that you talk to yourself about what you bring to the table, what you're looking for, that's how you bring it in. So you've been killing it that way. Even if it's just writing it in your journal. I said that, I think, with like card number 1 too. Okay, so how else have they been killing it in love, friends, family, relationships? This is the last part of the reading before we close it out. If it resonates, please give it a like. I have a growth reading and confidence boost reading tier on Patreon. It's like $10 a month. Right now it has like 39 videos in it and growing. So you guys can join that. It's a monthly fee. And then there's also the collection. So you can buy each of those readings individually too. Or you can buy the entire collection, which gives you access to all the readings in it there and in the future without having to pay a monthly price. All those are by the timestamps. There are other tiers too. So go ahead and look at it if you want your 12 signs, love readings, all that stuff. I have readings of all types. The Justice card. Oh, I love it. I love it. Because wasn't I talking about accountability and truth and clarity? Wasn't I? And look what it says on the card. Law, cause and effect, clarity and truth. Again, it says the Sun card is all about clarity and truth. Knowing yourself, for real. And standing in that power. You know how like kids, they don't have as many insecurities as we do as adults. Why? Because as we go through life, sometimes our own insecurities are our demise. Why? Because sometimes we go through things and we thought we were the dopest thing in the world, or that this thing was going to turn out the way that we wanted it to, and it didn't. And that causes us to feel a certain type of way. But that doesn't mean you have to be insecure. It doesn't mean it should create a complex. Sometimes it's meant to show you that you're just extremely, extremely perseverant, and you don't have to be a product of your environment, or that sometimes nature just takes its course. So how does this affect your personal relationships, your love relationships, your family? Because I feel like you're showing up as more fair. So the more you show up as fair and honest in your relationships, the better your relationships will be. Okay? So if you said that thing to upset your child, apologize. If you need more love and care from your partner, say that. The more you can do that, the more you make these efforts to balance things out, to support yourself, to make sure that you're getting the care and the needs that you deserve, and that you're also meeting that for the people that are trying to do the same for you, the better. Four of Wands. Again, look, there's the 4 wands right there. Bottom of the deck is the High Priestess. And the King of Wands. Oh my God, look, King of Wands right there. So the messages are repeating here. But I feel like you guys knew this all along. You knew that you had the capability of getting here all along. You've grown. I feel like this group, you really have grown as a person. And you are still. Your relationships will start to reflect that. Your career will start to reflect that. Your money will start to reflect that. Baby steps. Okay. If that resonated, give it a like and come back for another one on my channel. Again, I'm so sorry for the period where there was no sound. I'm going to try to edit it. I don't think I need to do the extended now because I just ended up going through everything again. But if anyone feels like they need more answers, comment, let me know, and I will do that public section for you. Okay. Love you. Bye.